In this lesson, we will examine two strategies to consider if you encounter a difficult probability question and you are forced to guess. The first strategy is to use your instincts. Now, without pausing this video, try to get a feeling for what the correct answer to this question might be. Here we have an unfair coin where the probability of getting tails on a toss is 0.3. So if we toss the coin 3 times, what is the probability that at least one of the tosses will turn up tails? Now, if you were unable to solve this question, what would be your guessing strategy? Well, first, you should try to get a feeling for the correct answer. Does it seem kind of likely that at least one of the tosses will turn up tails? Does it seem very likely? Or does it seem very unlikely? We might ask, is the probability less than 0.5 or greater than 0.5? What do you think? If you felt that the probability is greater than 0.5, you would eliminate answer choices A and B since they are less than 0.5. Are there any other answer choices you might eliminate? Now keep in mind that you do not know how to solve this question, so when we are guessing, we need to be somewhat aggressive. What about answer choice E? A probability of 0.973 seems too high to be the correct answer. This answer choice suggests that it is highly likely for at least one toss to turn up tails. Now, if you don't feel that this answer seems right, you might eliminate answer choice E as well. Now, what other strategies might we use here? Well, another strategy involves identifying questions that might be solved using the complement. To examine this, I want you to imagine that you work for a testing company and you are creating a very difficult probability question to ask students. Let's say that you just finished creating this fictitious question where the goal is to find the probability that event A occurs. Now what do you do? Well, now you need to create 5 answer choices. So let's begin by determining the correct answer choice. To do so, you'll have to solve your question. Now this question happens to feature at least, and we have already learned that a lot of questions involving at least and at most can be solved using the complement. Now as you continue to practice, you will recognize other types of questions that can be solved nicely using the complement as well. So for this question, the probability that event A occurs will be equal to 1 minus the probability that event A doesn't occur. This means we must determine the probability that event A doesn't occur. Now let's pretend that once you perform your calculations, you find that this probability is equal to 0.3. When you add this to your original calculations, you see that the probability is 0.7 that event A occurs. So since this is the correct answer, you must make it one of the answer choices. Your task now is to create 4 incorrect answer choices, or distractors, that might appeal to test takers. Now when test makers create distractors, they look for incorrect answers that students might arrive at incorrectly. For questions that involve the complement, the most common mistake is to conclude that the complement is the correct answer. So if you want a good distractor, you should include this as one of the answer choices. At this point, let's say that you find some other good distractors and you add them to your answer choices. You now have a super difficult question ready to go. At this point, let's imagine that you are taking the test and you encounter this question. Now, unfortunately, the solution eludes you, so you are forced to guess. Now that you have an understanding of how test questions are created, you should be aware that for questions that involve the complement, you should consider any answer choice that combines with another answer choice to add to 1. In this question, we see at least, which suggests that a possible solution might involve the complement. So we'll search the answer choices for pairs that add to 1. We see that answer choices A and E add to 1, so we might not eliminate them just yet. Here's another pair of answer choices that add to 1, so we'll leave them alone for the moment as well. Answer choice C, however, cannot pair with another answer choice to add to 1, so let's eliminate it from our guesses. Now, can we be certain that answer choice C is not correct? Absolutely not, but remember that we are guessing here. Now, at this point, we might also use our instincts to eliminate any additional answer choices that do not seem to be correct. Now let's return to our original question. In this question we have at least, so the question might involve the complement. Now since the solution might involve the complement, we should consider pairs of answer choices that add to 1 as potentially correct. Now these two answer choices add to 1, so we'll leave them alone, and these two answer choices add to 1. Since answer choice D cannot pair with another answer choice to add to 1, we'll eliminate it. As you have seen, you have some strategies to consider when you are forced to guess on a probability question. Use your instincts, and for questions that may involve the complement, eliminate any answer choice that does not combine with another answer choice to add to 1.